welcome to Quiz Class. My name's Ellis and I'll be your host for today's general knowledge quiz. We've got 100 questions for you today and we'd love you to let us know at the end of the video how many points you scored based on our Quiz Class awards. Take a look there from Champion down to Explorer. You can rank any of those 5 awards, so let us know how you get on in the comments at the end. But without further ado, let's get started with the quiz. Good luck. Here's question 1. Which African country was formerly known as Upper Volta? Niger, Burkina Faso, or Chad? And as you can see, you get 3 multiple choice options for each question. Try and find the right one. For number 1, it's Burkina Faso. Who wrote the novel 100 Years of Solitude? Gabriel Garcia Marquez, Julio Cortázar, or Isabel Allende? The correct answer is Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Which queen was nicknamed the Grandmother of Europe? Catherine the Great, Maria Theresa, or Queen Victoria? The Grandmother of Europe is a nickname given to Queen Victoria. What is the world's largest coral reef system? Andros Barrier Reef, Belize Barrier Reef, or Great Barrier Reef? The answer is the Great Barrier Reef. Question 5. Who was the first female Prime Minister of India? Pratibha Patil, Sarojini Naidu, or Indira Gandhi? The correct answer is Indira Gandhi. Question 6. What is the capital city of New Zealand? Is it Christchurch, Wellington, or Dunedin? The answer is Wellington. Which philosopher wrote The Republic? Plato, Socrates, or Aristotle? The answer is Plato. Question 8. Who was known as the Iron Chancellor of Germany? Kaiser Wilhelm II, Otto von Bismarck, or Konrad Adenauer? The answer is Otto von Bismarck. Well done if you got that one. Moving on to question 9. Which bird has the largest wingspan? Dalmatian pelican, California condor, or wandering albatross? So in this general knowledge quiz, we really are testing all areas of your knowledge. The answer to question 9 is wandering albatross. Who painted The Persistence of Memory? Vincent van Gogh, Salvador Dali, or Claude Monet? The correct answer is Salvador Dali. 11. Which country was formerly known as Ceylon? Bangladesh, Maldives, or Sri Lanka? The answer is Sri Lanka. Who wrote the play Death of a Salesman? Edward Albee, Eugene O'Neill, or Arthur Miller? Death of a Salesman was written by Arthur Miller. Which mountain range separates Europe from Asia? Carpathians, Caucasus, or Ural Mountains? Europe is separated from Asia by the Ural Mountains. Who was the last Tsar of Russia? Nicholas II, Ivan the Terrible, or Alexander III? The answer is Nicholas II. Who was the longest reigning monarch in British history? King Henry VIII, Queen Victoria, or Queen Elizabeth II? The longest reigning monarch in British history was Queen Elizabeth II. Which strait separates Asia and North America? Strait of Gibraltar, the Bering Strait, or Strait of Hormuz? The answer is the Bering Strait. Who led the Salt March in India in 1930? Mahatma Gandhi, Sardar Patel, or Jawaharlal Nehru? The answer is Mahatma Gandhi. Question 18. What is the largest species of penguin? King penguin, Gentoo penguin, or emperor penguin? The answer is the emperor penguin. Question 19. Which Nobel laureate wrote One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich? Alexander Solzhenitsyn, Joseph Brodsky, or Boris Pasternak? The correct answer is Alexander Solzhenitsyn. Who was known as the Sun King of France? Louis XVI, Louis XIV, or Charles de Gaulle? The Sun King of France is Louis XIV. Which river flows through Paris? Seine, Rhine, or Danube? Seine, Rhine, or Danube? The answer is the River Seine. Who wrote the poem The Wasteland? Ezra Pound, Robert Frost, or T.S. Eliot? The correct answer, T.S. Eliot. Which ancient civilization built Machu Picchu? Inca, Maya, or Aztecs? The correct answer is Inca. Who was the first European explorer to reach India by sea? Ferdinand Magellan, Vasco da Gama, or Amerigo Vespucci? The answer is Vasco da Gama. What is the only mammal capable of true sustained flight? Colugo, sugar glider, or bat? The answer is a bat. Which European city is known for its mannequin peace statue? Vienna, Brussels, or Prague? The answer is Brussels. In Norse mythology, what is the name of the tree that connects the 9 worlds? Drasil, Asgardian oak, or Nidhogg? Apologies for any mispronunciation there. The answer is that top option. What is the term for a group of jellyfish? Shoal, smack, or colony? If you have a group of jellyfish, you refer to them as a smack. Who invented the modern escalator in 1891? George Ferris, Elisha Otis, or Jesse Reno? The answer is Jesse Reno. Question 30. Which ancient civilization used quipu, a system of knots, for record keeping? Olmec, Mayan, or Inca? The answer is Inca. What is the name of the world's oldest known surviving board game? Chess, the royal game of Ur, or backgammon? The answer is the royal game of Ur. In which country can you find the door to hell, a natural gas crater that has been burning since 1971? Turkmenistan, Saudi Arabia, or Kazakhstan? The door to hell is a natural gas crater found in Turkmenistan. 33. Which sea creature produces its own light through bioluminescence? Manta ray, anglerfish, or sea urchin? The correct answer is an anglerfish. What is the term for a word or phrase that reads the same backward as forward? Palindrome, homophone, or oxymoron? The answer is palindrome. What is the only planet in our solar system that rotates on its side? Uranus, Saturn, or Venus? The answer is Uranus. In Greek mythology, who was punished to roll a boulder uphill for eternity? Prometheus, Atlas, or Sisyphus? The answer is Sisyphus. Which animal has fingerprints so similar to humans that they can confuse crime scene investigations? A gorilla, a koala, or a dog? The answer is koala, though I doubt they're coming near many crime scenes. What is the name of the world's largest freshwater fish found in Southeast Asia? Giant freshwater stingray, Goliath tigerfish, or Nile perch? The answer is a giant freshwater stingray. Who was known as the Lady with the Lamp? Mary Seacole, Clara Barton, or Florence Nightingale? The Lady with the Lamp is Florence Nightingale. 40. Which artist is famous for his water lily paintings? Pablo Picasso, Claude Monet, or Vincent van Gogh? The correct answer, Claude Monet. What is the term for the study of the structure, behaviour, and evolution of the universe? Astrology, cosmology, or astronomy? The answer is cosmology. Which ancient city was destroyed by a volcanic eruption in 79 AD? Carthage, Pompeii, or Pompeii and Herculaneum? destroyed by Mount Vesuvius? The answers are Pompeii and Herculaneum. Who wrote the famous play A Doll's House? Henrik Ibsen, Anton Chekhov, or Oscar Wilde? A Doll's House. Who wrote that? The answer is Henrik Ibsen. 44. Who is credited with the discovery of the principle of buoyancy? Galileo Galilei, Isaac Newton, or Archimedes? The answer is Archimedes. Which animal's milk is used to make authentic Roquefort cheese? Buffalo, sheep, or goat? The answer is sheep. What is the term for a word created by rearranging the letters of another word? Homonym, anagram, or palindrome? The answer is anagram. In typography, what is the small line attached to the end of a stroke in a letter called? Serif, ascender, or ligature? The answer is serif. 48. Which fruit is botanically classified as a berry, despite its name? Banana, raspberry, or strawberry? Well, as raspberry and strawberry both have berry in the name, banana is the answer. What is the only planet in our solar system named after a Greek god rather than a Roman god? Venus, Uranus, or Neptune? The only planet in our solar system named after a Greek god rather than a Roman god is Uranus. Question 50. In music, what is the term for a gradual increase in volume? Crescendo, forte, or allegro? The correct answer is crescendo, and we are halfway through this quiz. Which element has the lowest boiling point of any known substance? Hydrogen, helium, or nitrogen? The lowest boiling point. The answer is helium. In which country would you find the world's only carbon-negative country? Iceland, Costa Rica, or Bhutan? The answer is Bhutan. What is the term for a word that is derived from a person's name? Toponym, eponym, or pseudonym? The answer is an eponym. Which animal has the largest eyes in the land animal kingdom? Ostrich, owl, or giraffe? The answer is an ostrich. Which country has the most time zones? Russia, Australia, or France? The answer is France. Which animal has the highest blood pressure of any living creature? Blue whale, giraffe, or cheetah? The animal with the highest blood pressure of any living creature is a giraffe. What is the only metal that is liquid at room temperature? Mercury, cesium, or gallium? The answer is mercury. In linguistics, what is the term for a word that imitates the sound it describes? Synonym, homophone, or onomatopoeia? Is it synonym, homophone, or onomatopoeia? The answer is onomatopoeia. What is the term for a group of owls? Parliament, flock, or convocation? If you see more than one owl together, you have seen a parliament of owls. 60. Which planet in our solar system rotates clockwise opposite to most others? Jupiter, Venus, or Mars? The answer is Venus. What is the only mammal that can't jump? Hippopotamus, rhinoceros, or elephant? The answer is elephant. 62. Which language has the most words? Mandarin Chinese, English, or Arabic? The language with the most words is English. What is the term for a word that is its own opposite? Contronym, synonym, or antonym? The answer is contronym. Question 64. Which animal has the longest gestation period? Blue whale, sperm whale, or an African elephant? Which animal has the longest gestation period? The answer is an African elephant. What is the only continent without reptiles or snakes? Europe, Antarctica, or South America? The only continent without reptiles or snakes is, of course, Antarctica. Which fruit is botanically classified as a nut? Coconut, peanut, or strawberry? Which fruit is botanically classified as a nut? The answer is strawberry. 67. What is the term for a sentence that contains all 26 letters of the alphabet? Pangram, alliteration, or an anagram? A sentence that contains all 26 letters of the alphabet is known as a pangram. Question 68. Which animal never sleeps? Dolphin, bullfrog, or shark? The answer is bullfrog. What is the only food that never spoils? Honey, vinegar, or salt? The answer is honey. Which animal has the most teeth? Shark, alligator, or giant armadillo? The animal that has the most teeth is a giant armadillo. What is the term for words that sound the same but have different meanings and spellings? Homophones, homographs, or synonyms? If two or more words sound the same but have different meanings and spellings, they are homophones. Which country has the world's oldest continuously used national flag? Japan, Denmark, or Switzerland? The answer is Denmark. What is the only letter in the English alphabet that is not used in the periodic table of elements? Q, J, or Y? The letter Q is the only letter in the English alphabet not used in the periodic table. What is the only mammal that can't walk backwards? Rhinoceros, sloth, or kangaroo? The answer is kangaroo. Which language has no word for no? Irish, Japanese, or Mandarin? The answer is Irish. Which animal never stops growing throughout its lifetime? Crocodile, elephant, or lobster? Throughout its lifetime, a lobster never stops growing. What is the only number whose English name has its letters in alphabetical order? 3, 40, or 8? The correct answer is 40. Which country has the most lakes in the world? Canada, Finland, or Russia? The answer is Canada. What is the term for a word that looks the same upside down? Palindrome, anagram, or ambigram? The answer is an ambigram. Which animal has the longest lifespan? Bowhead whale, Greenland shark, or Galapagos tortoise? The animal with the longest lifespan is a Greenland shark. What is the only continent that lies in all 4 hemispheres? Africa, Asia, South America? The answer is Africa. Which element has the highest melting point? Platinum, carbon, or titanium? The element with the highest melting point is carbon. Question 83. What is the term for a word that is spelled the same forwards and backwards but has different meanings? Semordnilap, homograph, or palindrome? The answer is a semordnilap. Which animal has the largest brain in relation to its body size? Dolphin, human, or ant? The answer is ant. What is the term for a word that contradicts itself? Oxymoron, paradox, or irony? A word that contradicts itself can otherwise be known as an oxymoron. Which planet has the most moons? Jupiter, Uranus, or Saturn? The answer is Saturn. Which animal has the most hearts? Squid, octopus, or an earthworm? The answer is earthworm. Which tree's wood is used to make cricket bats? Pine, willow, or oak? Cricket bats are made out of the wood of a willow tree. Which animal has the longest tongue relative to its body size? Anteater, giraffe, or chameleon? The answer is a chameleon. What is the only prime number that is even? 3, 1, or 2? The answer, of course, the only prime number is even number as an option is 2. The answer is 2. 91. Which country has the world's longest coastline? Russia, Canada, or Philippines? The country with the world's longest coastline is Canada. What is the term for a word formed by combining parts of other words? Compound, neologism, or portmanteau? The correct answer is a portmanteau. Which planet has the Great Red Spot? Venus, Jupiter, or Saturn? The answer is Jupiter. What is the only bird known to sleep while flying? Eagle, frigate bird, or common swift? The answer, common swift. Hope you're doing well so far. We've only got a few questions left. Which element has the lowest density? Hydrogen, lithium, or nitrogen? The element with the lowest density is hydrogen. What is the term for a group of pandas? Pack, herd, or embarrassment? We've had the term for a group of jellyfish and a group of owls. What about a group of pandas? The answer is an embarrassment. Which country is home to the world's northernmost capital city? Sweden, Finland, or Iceland? The answer is Iceland. The Northern Lights may be giving you a little bit of a clue there. What is the only mammal that can't sweat? The only mammal that can't sweat. Is it a hippopotamus, an elephant, or a horse? The answer is a horse. Which country has the most pyramids? Egypt, Mexico, or Sudan? Well, you'd likely think the answer was Egypt, but the answer is actually Sudan. And question 100, which animal has the longest migration route? Humpback whale, Arctic tern, or monarch butterfly? The answer is an Arctic tern. And we always finish with a bonus question here at Quiz Class. Which element is named after a country in Scandinavia? Let us know the answer in the comments. And while you're there, please do let us know how you've ranked based on our Quiz Class Einstein rewards. That is the end of our quiz today. Thanks again for joining us and for playing this quiz. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified on all of our upcoming quizzes. If you can't wait for that though, there are lots of quizzes already uploaded that you can try right now. My name's Ellis and I've been your host. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you next time at Quiz Class.